Badly Drawn Boy. Born Again on XFM 104.9. Here we are then. Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. Raring to go. He's a bit grumpy, Karl. Woken up at 8 o'clock.
Because he's from the north.
Yeah, because he's in London.
Yeah.
And London's rubbish, right, isn't it? Oh. Where can you can't even get a Band-Aid in London, can you? Or grouting. In Manchester, I could walk to the next shop and definitely get some Flash, or maybe some Vim. You can't get it down here. You gotta go to a trendy bistro, haven't you? Karl, why are you grumpy?
I told you before, I'm just a little bit tired today.
'Cause he had to get up, the builders next door woke him up.
No.
He's always going about his hours. Those builders probably got up at 6.
Yeah, but I can understand builders who get up early because they're building outside and they've got to get the job done before it gets dark, but he's working in someone's lounge. If it gets dark, put the light on. It's not a problem. So why is he starting work at like 7 o'clock in the morning?
Well, because the builders get paid by the day, and if you get a builder and go, I'll just do 11 till 3, he's not gonna go, I tell you what, love, just give me 40 quid. I didn't do a whole day. It's a day's work, isn't it? So you want to get the most out of them, don't you?
Plus, he probably wants to finish early so he can have a good night out.
Yeah, it's a Saturday night, you know what I mean? He wants to...
Yeah, he wants to get at least 15 pints in.
And he was cheery, I bet he was whistling and, you know, dancing around and tapping, you know, so I don't know how you can be annoyed at that. Why don't you get earplugs?
I don't like it, the idea of earplugs.
Why?
Because I live in a flat, so it's not as if I'm looking after my house, right?
I know. Already, I've lost you. No. That wasn't even a whole sentence and I don't know what you're talking about.
No, but what I mean is...
What?
If you live in a house, right, you know that you've turned the lights off downstairs, you know you haven't got a frying pan on, right?
Right, okay,
so,
not really.
Keep him going.
But I live in a flat, and I don't know what the other people are like. There might be some daft people in there who don't...
Imagine that.
Right, who don't turn stuff off. Now, if I have earplugs, and the fire alarm's going off, I'm not gonna hear it, I'm gonna have a good sleep, but who knows what could happen. So I don't like earplugs. It's not safe.
Okay.
If you live in a block of flats.
But I think you'll find, because I've used them, I think you'll find that a fire alarm will cut through
I wear them
the earplugs.
sometimes, if it's noisy or I want to go to bed early or something, and I hear my alarm clock, and it goes, beep, 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 beep. It's that loud.
Okay, well...
And a fire alarm is deafening.
Alright, so we've talked in the past about snails who sleep for 13 years.
No, you have. That's never been confirmed. In fact, the expert hadn't heard of it.
Well, they do.
Okay.
I read it on different sites.
Okay.
So how much does it take to wake them up? Got you.
What do you mean?
Well, they sleep for 13 years.
Yeah, but it's probably, but I don't know what you mean by sleep. It's not the same sort of pattern that we have in a mollusk, is it? There's different, what is sleep?
It's when you're sort of shut down, and...
But they can estivate, they can actually literally shut down.
No, but they didn't say that, they said they sleep for 13 years. And I mean, have you ever had like more than 10 hours sleep?
Yeah.
Feel really groggy?
Well, no, I feel good after 10 hours sleep.
I feel rough. I just was thinking what a snail would be like. Be like, oh.
Be even slower than normal.
Be even slower than you. Play a record.
Well, anyway.
Email in if you know what on earth Karl's talking about.
Ever. Wu-Tang Clan. Uzi on XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. We've got a lot to get through. We got things like Radiohead to play. We got Feeder. We got Teenage Fan Club. You know, we got 2 new competitions, Steve.
Go on.
A great one coming up. A film competition.
I'm excited.
That's great. And a music-based competition.
Is it right to say that Rockbusters is no longer?
We've still got Rockbusters.
It's
hanging on by the skin of its teeth.
I thought we got rid of that. I thought we'd all agreed that we got rid of that rubbish.
No, I think we should do it. I think people like
Nobody wants it. Nobody wants it.
It's because he got his name in Heat now. It's Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington and the Heat said they like Rockbusters. That's why.
Karl, I thought we had a meeting and we agreed that it was not going to happen anymore.
He's worried about the fans.
There's a guy here emailed in, he just emailed in 3 band names. He said, I may as well email in now on the off chance these are right, because it's such an arbitrary quiz.
Yeah.
It's essentially a waste of time. The clues are so complicated.
D. Frida Payne. That was a classic. That was a classic Rockbuster, wasn't it?
When they start getting a bit ridiculous and that, and people aren't getting them, then we'll...
You can't drink that pop now. Shaka Khan.
No.
That was another piece of genius.
Well, I think we've already reached to that stage, Karl, to be
I've
truthful,
only
mate.
just got in this river, and there's loads of logs. Justin Timberlake, he said river. Lake, he said river. Lake, he said river. Just few of the highlights of Rockbuster.
Can you please promise that this is the last one today? Because it's really, I think it's bringing the show down.
Steve, he can't promise he'll remember the answers today. How can he promise what's going to happen next week?
I still think it's got legs in it. Let's just see how it goes next week.
You're not going to bring it back next week. It's got to be finished. We've got to put an end to it. We've got to give it a sort of final sending off.
Okay, I'll tell you
We've got to smother it, Carl, for its own good.
I do want to trial this new film quiz we've got, because it's, I mean, I'm excited. I think it's the best competition we've come up with, to be quite honest. I mean, Carl, you agree, don't you?
It's alright, yeah.
Yeah, it's a film-based quiz.
Right.
We'll play you a clip from a classic film. I can tell you the film we're going to play. It's The Sixth Sense.
Right.
And there'll be a question afterwards, and you can win The Sixth Sense.
On DVD?
Yeah. Not the ability to sort of tell when someone's behind you, but just as film. You know. Do you believe in sort of like extrasensory sort of perception and stuff, Carl?
Ghosts and that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course you do.
Not ghosts, no, the fact that people maybe can sense, you know, beings.
There was a woman in on the Christian's breakfast show, right?
Yeah.
Blind woman.
Right.
Clairvoyant.
Is that her name?
Forgot. But she was a bit useless.
She's a bit useless.
I'm always worried about what's going to come out of
I'm
Carl's
worried
mouth.
what you mean. What?
Do you know what I mean?
She's a bit rubbish at being a clairvoyant.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I think if you're not that good at something, don't go on the radio and do it.
Carl, you better leave.
So, what, sorry.
Well, she was saying,
So
like,
what was the relevance of her being, blind? What was that for? What did you say?
I just thought it was a bit weird. I think she was using that because the fact that she can't see living people, but she can contact the dead ones.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, this is XFM 104.9. Once again, Carl's opinions do not necessarily reflect anyone's.
Those of any human being.
Any other person alive today.
Sorry, Carl, so how did she demonstrate her clairvoyance, and why was it not very convincing?
She was sat in the chair you're at, right? And people called up and said,
I sensed that.
Weird.
They called up and they said, right, can you, have a word with me, Gran?
Yeah.
And, she goes, yeah, she's dead, isn't she? And it's like, yeah. He goes, ooh, and everyone's like, ooh, she knows her stuff.
It was 50-50 to be fair.
Yeah, and especially with a gran, because the person sounded about 35, so the chances are they haven't got a gran anymore.
Yeah.
And it was just
unless it's the fellas from Busted, because they, in the year 3000, they've only got to a great-great-granddaughter, and that's 1,000 years, so presumably, you know, they can live a lot longer.
Yeah. I just wasn't convinced anyway. I don't want to diss her, because, you know, she came in, and she did her stuff, and if people believe in it, I'm not going to put it down, but it just was a little bit
You
odd.
believe in it? You just think she didn't have the real power, as opposed to it being rubbish.
No, whatever. But yeah, I don't know what we were talking about there. So we've got the film thing going.
I don't know what we were talking about. What were you talking about earlier about glasses as well, and Steve taking his glasses off? What was that?
What are you saying that in front of him now for?
Was it an insult?
It wasn't really an insult.
Carl, what were you up to?
No, what was it? I genuinely don't remember. I genuinely don't remember.
Well, right, Steve, I'm not having a go. Right? Just saying how people, it's a bit weird that you've got glasses because you've got a good pair of eyes on you. Right? That isn't an insult.
What were you talking about though? What was it? Why did
it was the fact that people who wear glasses always look a bit weird without them on. It's like, you know, they should wear glasses.
Okay. Why did we get round to this? What was we talking about? What were we talking about?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what that was.
It sounds like an insult, even it wasn't intended as one.
It wasn't.
It sounds like an insult, Carl.
It does, yeah.
No, it wasn't.
I should be allowed to punch you every time you insult me now.
No, but I'm not having a go.
I'm going to give you a dead arm.
Look, Steve, it's you always
even if it wasn't, you intended it to be one.
What you...
Oh, that was real. Play a record.
Yeah, but
it's mad.
Every time you insult me from
That's mad. Oh, is this the Cardigans? Great, brilliant.
I didn't even say anything.
It makes me feel better. I can enjoy the rest of the show.